My project is based on a football team, and here's the UML diagram for it. Here we have, we can see there's a football team which has many members and has a sponsor. And those members can be split up into managers, players, and coaches, each of which have an inheritance relationship from the member class. For the code, we have for each class there is an overloaded constructor. So for the member class, we have one here, and the code for it is initialized here, and the code for it is in the CPP file here, and it creates all the variables for each object of the class when this constructor is used. And the other classes have them as well, all in the same pattern, with the code being in the CPP. Each class also uses data hiding, so all the variables for each class are contained within the private section, and with the functions then being in public. So it can be seen in all the classes for player. Then there is the member function, in the member class, the set function for the trophies as a data integrity check to ensure that trophies 1 has to be a positive number, as you can't win negative trophies. So whenever a member is created for this class and the class is inherited from it, if you set trophies 1 to anything less than 0, it will not accept it. Now for the inheritance, 3 of the classes inherit from the member class. The coach, manager, and player all inherit from the member class, which can be seen from this line of code here. Basically meaning each of these inherits the member class, and inherits each of its functions to be used. So as they all require the functions within the member class, so the name, the salary, the contract length, and trophies 1. Although I don't think my coach class uses all of them. And then for the constructors in my player class, there is an extra constructor as well, showing for when a player is added, but the appearances. If a player is brand new to the team, he will have appearances, so you can just create use a constructor that only adds the position the player will play in, and automatically set the appearances to 0, which can be seen here. As opposed to a player you're adding in who's already on the team and has had appearances, you can change that. So it is down here. Each of the classes, the member class has a display function, which each of the classes then you inherit as well, and you override. So in the member class display function outputs the name, the salary, contract length, and trophies 1. Where we go to the coach class, we can see that the coach display uses the member display as well down here, and then see to use adds on its own extra bit for the display at the end for the coach's specialty. The manager class also uses it, and same with the player class, each which uses the members display function before using its own, adding onto its own. The member class also uses constants for its gets, as each of the gets does not change the variable it's getting, and it shouldn't change the variable it's getting. So setting them each to constants allows it to guarantees it stays the same, and there's no need for it to change. And with everything though, it stays the same. While in the player class, we have a static variable, which is the number of players on the team. And this means that every time a new player is added to the team, this variable is changed regardless of which object is being created. So every object shares the variable. It is a universal one between in the class. So if two players are added as two objects of the class are created, two players will be added to the number of players variable. The final classes that want to be shown in this, there is a sponsor class, which at the moment doesn't use much, but we'll use a aggregation relationship with the football team class, and it has its own overload constructor, as you can see in here. And we have the football team class, which currently has a one-to-one aggregation with the sponsor class, and will in the future have a one-to-many relationship with the member class, as there are many members on the football team.